Yankee Doodle went to town riding on a pony, stuck a feather in his hat and called.
Hi, I'm Ms. Best, and welcome to the American Revolution Night, We the People. Tonight my students are presenting information on different historical characters during the American Revolution time period, and they are becoming the characters. So when you see them next, they will no longer be Carter or Sophia. They will be George or John. Have a great time.
Mind the music and the step, and with the girls
I disagree, but
very good. And tell me what this is.
That's a picture of my husband, John Adams. This is a picture of me at age 22. And a picture of me at age 16.
And what's this other?
I died in Carousel, Pennsylvania, January 26, 1838.
Really nice.
So,
what did Abigail Adams do?
John Adams. I was born October 30th, 1735 in Braintree, Massachusetts, or as you guys might call it, Quincy, Massachusetts. I'm the oldest of my two brothers, Elihu and Peter Adams. My dream was to be a farmer. I went to college at Harvard, and I apprenticed to Mr. Putnam. During my elementary years, my teacher was Mrs. Belcher. My mother was Susanna Boylston, and I moved into Joseph Cleverley's Latin School taught by Mr. Marsh. My family consists of Samuel Adams, who is my cousin, Abigail Adams, who is my wife, my daughter-in-law, Louisa Catherine Adams, and my 6 children named Abigail, Susanna, Thomas, Elizabeth, John Quincy, and Charles Adams. My great-great-grandfather, Henry Adams, sailed to America to escape religious persecution. My family and I hated Thomas Jefferson. John Quincy Adams was the 6th President of the United States. Accomplishments in my life was that I helped create and sign the Declaration of Independence. I became an attorney of Massachusetts. I was the 2nd President of the United States and was the 1st person to become Vice President. I was chosen as delegate to the 1st Continental Congress. I was also a minister to Great Britain. And my vice president was Thomas Jefferson. Some random facts on me is that I have a dollar coin with my face on it. I love the outdoors. My birthplace is now a historical site in Quincy, Massachusetts. I had blue eyes, and next October I will be 277 years old. My general while I was president was Charles Lee. Abigail and I exchanged over 1,000 letters while I was in Britain. And I was the first person to live in the White House. The careers in my life was I was a farmer, a lawyer, and a politician. My wife, Abigail Adams, was constantly sick, and a smallpox epidemic swept through Braintree, Massachusetts, taking my 2-year-old daughter, Abigail. My son, Charles, was constantly drunk until his death. When I passed the Alien and Sedition Acts while I was president, many people hated me for that. I lived a very full life until my death on July 4th, 1826, at age 91. I died on the very same day and the same hour as Thomas Jefferson. And then, are there any questions?
My name is Thomas Jefferson, and I was born April 3rd, 1743. Jane Randolph Jefferson and Peter Jefferson were my parents. I attended Woodward Academy when I was younger and had 6 sisters and 1 brother. I was born in Shadwell, Virginia. In 1826, my health began to fail. I was trying to impress a girl by jumping a fence, and it didn't work out, so I ended up breaking my wrist and on September 18, 1786. Later in my life, I entered the College of Mary and Williamsburg. William and Mary Williamsburg. In 1760, I studied to be a lawyer. Then I became representative to the House of Representatives in 1769. I became secretary of the state headquarters in the late 1790s. I became the vice president of John Adams on March 4, 1797.
Hello, my name is Alexander Hamilton. I was born 1755 in the Nevis Islands in the Caribbean. When I was 10, my mom and dad separated. I immigrated to New York, and I started going to the King's College. My friend Frederick Wilhelm von Steuben was writing a book, so I decided to help edit it. So I helped edit the Blue Book, also known as the Regulations for Order and Disciplines of the Troops of the United States. And I became the Secretary of Treasury. Yeah. I had many jobs. I served in the New York Assembly in 1787 as the aide-de-camp. I was a member of the Continental Congress, Annapolis Convention.
My person's name. My name is John Adams. I was born on October 30th, 1735. I wanted to be a farmer. My dad was a farmer, so I lived on a farm. He had a lot of sheep, so I was a shepherd. I learned the college I learned at was Harvard, or to be a lawyer, and I grew up in Massachusetts. Graduated in 1755, and I was a politician, farmer, lawyer, and a president. My part in the revolution was that I'm a politician, and I helped make decisions. During the revolution, I exchanged 1,000 letters with Abigail. I had 6 children, 2 of them died. I spent several years away from my family.
Raleigh picture on USA. 1822.
The British
And where's your husband?
and to the Boston Harbor. In the Boston Harbor. And that was
Jackie and Ellie had 3 kids, born in 1776 and 1779. Was 1776. Declaration of Independence was like 17. I was a patriot, but I was not. I died July 4th, 1826. It was so long ago, I can't remember.
Hi, I'm Thomas Jefferson, born April 13, 1743 in Virginia. My parents were Jane Rodolph Jefferson and Peter Jefferson. I went to Woodward Academy as a kid. I have 6 sisters and 1 brother. I had many jobs. I was a governor, a philosopher, a lawyer, a secretary, an author, a scientist, an architect, an inventor, a statesman, the 3rd president, and the secretary of state. At the Declaration of Independence when I was only 33, as the 3rd president, I designed the University of Virginia, I built my home hotel, and I bought the Louisiana Purchase. I lost my wife at age 39 in 1772, the same year my childhood house burned down. One of the quotes that I wrote that you may have not been familiar with is, I have sworn upon the altar of God and eternally host in the every form of Trinity over the mind of man. Sadly, I died July 4th, 1826, 50 years after the Declaration of Independence.
Hello there. My name is George Washington, born February 22nd, 1732, in the colony of Virginia, Mount Vermont. I had 2 sisters, 3 brothers, and 2 half-brothers. I was homeschooled till I was 7 years old and then went to a public school soon after. My father died when I was 11 years old. I was a farmer for most of my life, and then I was a surveyor at the age of 16 for Daniel Osborne. I made maps of his survey. I also was a military officer for my brother Lawrence at the age of 16. I had many accomplishments in my day. I was a 5-star general. I think the biggest accomplishment I had, I led the fight against the British. I went all through 13 colonies, and then finally ended in Yorktown, 1781, but we did not have our independence yet. I also had some struggles. I got captured by the French May 28th and released soon after in the French and Indian War. I also got defeated by the French at the Mongolia River, 1755. I died December 4th, 1799. My wife Martha died 1802, and I'm also known as the father of our country.
Hello, I'm Frederick von Steuben, and you've probably never heard of me, but I played a big part militarily in the American Revolution. This uniform is a modern-day Marine uniform, but it was used early during the American Revolution. But most of the people didn't even have uniforms because they were Minutemen. I was born September 17th, 1730, at Magdeburg Fortress. Here. And also here, which is modern-day Germany. I was son of Baron Wilhelm von Steuben, where I get my middle name, Wilhelm. I spent my early years here, in Russia, during a political debate by the Prussians, during the Prussian kings. I was schooled by Jesuit priests in practical science and mathematics. I joined the Prussian military as a lance corporal, this time here. A year later, I became a cadet, and over this span of years, I served in the Prussian military. And here's a flag of the country. I was discharged because of financial problems, and I tried to enlist in foreign armies. Finally, I met up with Benjamin Franklin in France in 1777, who gave me a job as a volunteer in the U.S. military at the Valley Forge. Here, where Washington's troops were very much in need of a commander. They wouldn't expect a Prussian to be helping them, of course. I trained the Minutemen at the Valley Forge, and I wrote this book on my basis that I used. It's called The Regulations for Order and Discipline of the Troops of the United States. I had led some men at Yorktown as well after an officer had been discharged from his duties. After my military career, I was discharged in 1784, and I got into some financial problems. Then I got a mortgage of $5,050. After that, I moved to New York and became very popular there. Finally, I died in 1794.